Hi guys, it's Tuesday the 10th of September 2019, and Tuesday's a regular look at board games on the site. This is Bernard on behalf of moviegamenostalgia.com. I'm looking at a bit more of a modern one today. It's I usually go back to the older times, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, etc. with the games, but I'm looking at I've had a quick look around the internet. There's not much information on this game, is it? There's a few reviews on the various buying internet retail sites, etc. And on Board Game Geek, there's a couple of reviews on this game. I thought I'd have a look at it myself. I've had it on the shelf. I've sold a couple of copies. You can pick this up used ones. Make sure they're complete if you're going to buy a used copy of this game. Make sure you read the people's instructions when they're listing their items. I mean, some people put on some of these auction sites, they'll put complete in the title, and then you go down to the instructions. This is complete apart from such and such and such and such, such and such. So not really complete, is it? Don't put complete unless it's a complete set. Anyway, so obviously the more people show a lot of pictures, so you can see what sort of condition these things in. But make sure, and if you do receive one that isn't complete, make sure you send it back. And obviously all my games are completed. There are any bits missing. I do have 2 or 3 games where there might be an instruction booklet missing or something like that. I'll always put it on the site anyway. So today we're looking at this little beauty, the Chase, which obviously we all know from the television. In this family board game, players must stay one step ahead of the chaser. Ruthless and brilliant quiz geniuses determined to stop you winning at all costs. So yeah, I mean, it's quite good because you think, well, who's going to play the chaser? But obviously that all becomes obvious when you start playing the game. It's by Ideal. Ideal have been with us. It's a bit of a funny brand now. It's actually used by different people, and this is John Adams. Just as John Adams Leisure have produced this, the Chase. But Ideal you'll find under different companies' names now. So you do see the name Ideal, but obviously they haven't been with us for a long time. They originally established in 1903, and obviously their original thing were dolls, and their original copyright was something called the teddy bear. So that's an interesting thing. The Ideal teddy bear came from Ideal, so a name we're obviously all familiar with now, but that's where its original concept was. And it's been sold over the years, like a lot of these films. It was sold to CBS in 1982, then sold again in 1987. Then in 89 to Tyco, who merged with Mattel. And now, as I said, they do. You'll see the Ideal thing on many games now. It's from different companies, so it's not necessarily all under one branch now. Right, let's get on with the game. Get the camera down so you can get all the action in there. My crib notes. Right, as you can see, you've got the old chase thing. These are where the chasers are going to sit at the top with the actual things. This is going to be the wonderful little gizmo in this. We do have a little timer, which is great. I'll just explain that there's three rounds to it. 3 rounds to play in the game. Round 1 is where you build your cash. So each contestant takes in turn to answer as many questions as possible against a 1-minute timer. They score 1,000 for each item they get. So there's blue and red cards. These are the blue cards. These are the batch. There's about 1,000 questions. I mean, you will get to the stage where you obviously going to be. This is a 2nd edition. You're going to get to the stage where you got to get through all the questions. But yeah, you can play again because, like me, I'll forget half the answers anyway. So you got such questions as. I mean, obviously, the person to the right, whoever's go it is, would ask the question, and you do have a minute to do it. So what you do is I'll set this off. Set this off. So there's a minute one and a 2-minute one on the timer. So obviously, you don't have to use this if there's younger players playing or you're playing in teams, etc. Because some of the questions might be a bit hard, so you might prefer to play in teams rather than a 10, 11-year-old. They do say from 10 upwards, but some of the questions are hard. Some of the questions are easy. There's no, they're all trivia, so there's no set things. So obviously, you can set it a minute, 2 minutes. You can just not even bother at all. But it's a nice little gizmo. I'll get this started. That's set for a minute now, and as it goes through, it'll beep and beep. So you ask the questions. I mean, what sort of vest is usually worn by the character Rapsy Nesbit? So the answer, there's 10 seconds gone already. So you go, got to give an answer. You can't say pass. You've got to give an answer. So the holy vest. Well, it's actually string vest. Which Bond girl shares her name with one of the wives of Henry VIII? So obviously Jane Seymour. So it's quite hard for some of the younger kids. In 1963, Jean Nidetch founded what most famous dieting company? 1960. So I'll have a guess on that. Weight Watchers, Slimming World, whatever. It was Weight Watchers. So there's six questions on each of these cards. If you get one right, another one of the players. I mean, it is recommended for 3 to 6 players. You can do a 2. Again, with a lot of these games, you can adapt it for yourself. You can play a 2-player game. Obviously, you can still have a bit of fun with it. This thing now, see, that's getting to the end of the minute now, so it quickens up with the beeps, and then it's over. So that's your minute gone. However many questions you've got, let's carry on with this. Slide the switch to the electronic timer. Decide who will go first. You can decide you go on age or who comes first, or find a dice from another game and throw a dice to see who goes first. Doesn't matter at the end of the day who goes first with this. The question master takes the blue colour questions, and when everybody's ready, pushes the large start button, as I did there. Electronic timer will beep every 10 seconds. When the time is nearly up, it will beep more quickly, followed by a long beep. So obviously that long beep goes before you answer a question. You decide whether you want to allow it or not. Obviously, say you can always mess around with these things. In the real program, obviously, once the beep goes, that's it. Now the next contestant takes their turn. Obviously, what you'll need to do there is, obviously, if you get an answer right, these things on it, just stick. You have these counters. These are the player counters. So whichever one you are, so stick this. So say you get 4 questions right, you move on to 4 there like that. So that's basically player 1. You all take your goals. You all take your goals round. See how many points you get. And obviously, what we've got now is round 2 is the chase. So all players must play this round at the same time. So each contestant places to get their contestant playing piece on the chase ladder in the middle of the game board. So now we've got the chase ladder. So let's say you've got blue playing, yellow playing, and red playing. So you've got all those. And they must place them 3. These is where the chases are going to be. 1, 2, 3. So you must chase 1, 2. You must put them 3 places away from the chases. So it's very similar to the original game. Each contestant now looks at the money offer statement printed in the red coloured reverse of their money token. So say blue had got 8 questions right. So blue had got 8,000. So there's these little things that you can slot into your thing. Now, if you look at the back, obviously the chase is going to reward you either 13,000 if you take a step nearer him, or 3,000 if you take a step further away. So if you want to be brave and you're the blue, all right, I've got 8,000. I'll go for 13,000. So I'll take a step closer to the chasers. Right? So you're actually going to take a step closer. And all the same. So obviously yellow will be the same. So say yellow only got 3,000. He's either got 7,000 or 1,000. So, but yellow's a bit of a coward. So even though he got 3,000, he's only going to go. He's going to take a step further away for 1,000. And red, say red did really well. Red got 11,000. Got 11 questions right, and he's going to be brave. He's going to go for 28,000. So he's going to take a step closer to the chase. So if you've watched the program, it's fairly simple what you need to do. If you haven't watched the program, it doesn't. Someone said the rules are complicated and they give up on the game, but I mean, they're not complicated at all. They're quite easy. So that's the next one. And each contestant now looks at the money offer statement and decides what he wants to do, blah, blah, blah. Or they can move on. Now, the thing about this is obviously it's actually not on the instructions very clear as to when the chasers come in on this game. Obviously, there's 3 players, so you're going to have 3 chasers. So what you've got in the corresponding colours, you've got a taller piece, you've got a taller blue piece, you've got a taller red piece, and you've got a taller yellow piece. So to say, you can play in teams or as singles, obviously on your own. So that's your chasers. Now, what you do it's not overly clear in the instructions, but you need to find out which chaser is going to be against you. Now, you get 8 chasers. So you get 8 of these little things. And what you do is probably mix them up. And then blindly, say put them in a little bag or something like that, you pick out which chaser you're going to have. So you could pick out the Destroyer, or you could chase the Beast there. You've got Sinnerman, the Governess, you've got the Governess, Sinnerman again. So on each side, there's a different one, Sinnerman, the Governess. So obviously, this is important because when you see the questions in the Beast and the Governess, the Beast and the Destroyer there. So out of the bag, just pick them up. Whichever one you pick up and faces you, that's who you're going to be playing. So the Destroyer, the blue guy got Destroyer. So he's going to be facing the Destroyer. Right. So just run around, shut my eyes, have a look. Oh, the Governess, right? Yellow's going to be facing the Governess. Put it in the slot there. Obviously, that's the other side of it. And red, let's have a little red pick. Red picks the Destroyer as well. Let's pick the Destroyer as well. So two of you could pick the Destroyer. So red picks the Destroyer as well. It doesn't make any difference. You can have more than the same for the thing like that. And then you just put the other cards back away. So that's who you're going to be playing. And this is important because if it comes to the question cards, they're a little bit different to the blue cards on the first one. And we've now got these red cards come into play. Right, so to play each round, each contestant takes in turn to answer a question. There's persons to their right is a question master. So again, it's basically asking a question on this. There's no timer on this one. You don't need the timer on with this one. And normally there's three of you. So even if there's two of you, it's obviously if you adapt it to two, which I think you can have the other player, the other player just asking the questions. The question master reads out multiple choice questions. So these red cards are now multiple choice questions. Each question has a choice of three possible answers, A, B, C. The contestant states their chosen answer. Each card also details how each chaser has answered. So this is the interesting thing. So let me have a look at these. Are numbered actually as well. So you can keep the cards in number because obviously if you play more than once, you could end up with the same questions. So question, this is the first one, obviously. The UEFA Cup winning team, Shakhtar Donetsk. Oh, Shakhtar Donetsk, quite a familiar name to me. And if you like your football, you might know what I'm talking about there. Is based in what country? So you've got three options. You've got Belarus, Bulgaria, and the Ukraine. So you've got Belarus, Ukraine. That's your top answer there. Now, what's interesting is they give at the side, they're telling you what the actual chaser would have said. So Sinnerman would have gone for Belarus there. So he would have been wrong, Sinnerman. But obviously the Beast, Destroyer and the Governess would have gone for the Ukraine. So they're right. So obviously, as in the game, if you get the question right, say this is Blue's question, he then moves one away. But did the Destroyer get it right? The Destroyer got it right as well, so he moves one. So exactly again, like the game. And obviously the next question, you might get it wrong, the Destroyer might get it right. And move. So this is the whole thing. So on each of those cards, it tells you what that's the clever bit, really. It tells you what the chasers would have got as well. So obviously you're carrying these amounts. If you're going to get to home base and win the game, then that's when you've got the money. You've won whatever money you've got. So this, let's say yellow wins his 1,000 and blue wins the 13,000. This one, unfortunately, loses. He gets caught by the Destroyer and he's out of the game. So you end up then, obviously, with round 3, which is the final chase. You've got 2 people in it. If there's only one person, it's no problem. If it's no people, then obviously, in theory, the game ends. But I mean, you remember, like the program, you can still adapt it and have a bit of fun and put you all back in it and stuff like that to have a go. So we've got now, obviously, ended up with round 3. Let's say we ended up with 2 winners. Let's say you ended up with yellow and blue both getting there without being caught. The player who made it through the chase round 2 with the highest amount of money can now compete in the final chase. So obviously, highest amounts. Yellow's only got 1,100 because they chickened out. But blue got 13,000. So blue's going to take part in this now. Blue's going to take part in the race. And yellow isn't. Which you know, so even though yellow got safe, tough, you only went for 1,100 quid, so you're out of it now. So you just basically left yellow with blue. Now, obviously, if you got more players, obviously, when it comes to it, they may, you know, that's just the game. You're out, and it's as simple as that. Obviously, someone's going to ask the questions and stuff like that, so you can still be involved. But I mean, you're talking the next round takes 2 minutes. So I mean, what, you know, 2 minutes for the 2 minutes for the player and 2 minutes for the chaser. So you're not going to be waiting long to it. You can have another go anyway. So it's no big deal, is it? It's no big problem, is it? For the final note, if 2 players make it through with the same amount of money, then you just pick a question at random, and the first player to answer it correctly will go through to the chase. For the final chase, the contestant selects one of the players to ask all the questions. So that player can obviously choose who he wants to ask the questions. And the contestant selects 2 other people to become the chaser. So then 2 players can play the chase and answer the chaser's questions. So again, you know, you can bring other players back into it. So not everyone goes out of it. Around the outside of the game board, a circular track of 30 spaces. Place a contestant in there and their chaser playing piece in a blank area between the number 1. So we've decided blue's won, obviously. It's destroyer who's going to compete. So that's the blank space there before number 1. Slide the switch on, so slide the switch to 2. There we go. I'll put it on. I'll just ignore it. Obviously, it just gets so slide to 2. Press go. So obviously, you got 2 minutes now. Don't worry about that. It's just to show you this thing working. Select 2 minutes. The question master should now take the blue colour question card. So again, we're back to the blues that we started with the very first round of the chase. And ask as many questions as possible before the time runs out. The contestant must always attempt to answer a question, obviously, and move the number of spaces around the track. So we've asked these questions in 2 minutes. You got a bit longer, so say he does manage to get to 10 questions, right? And see another player who's not playing or asking the question could be moving the counter for the player. So that could how you can include them. If you got younger kids, you want to keep them involved in games like this. So there you go. So this guy's answered 10 questions in the 2 minutes. So what we've got now is for each question, the contestant has a question, they move their playing piece, that number of spaces away from the chaser. So someone can be doing that for them. Now the chaser has their turn answering questions against a 2-minute timer. So again, once the player's played his 2 minutes, you can set this up again. It's exactly the same for the chaser. And this is where you've got 2 players as the chasers who are help. They've got options of obviously 2 brains are better than 1. Of answering the questions and chasing you down. For each correctly answered question, the chaser moves their piece 1 space closer to the contestant. Once again, the chaser must always attempt to answer the question. They cannot simply say pass. If they get an answer wrong, so if you get an answer wrong, you can stop the timer, move it across, and that question then gets asked to the player. So it is, again, identical to the TV series. And obviously, if they answer the question correctly, say the chaser's answered 3 right at that stage, and they get it wrong, they answer it correctly, he's moved back to 2 again. So exactly like the game. If you've played the game and read the instructions, it's not too hard to understand. If the contestant answers correctly, they push the chaser back 1 space. If the chaser is pushed backwards to the start, they should remain there. So if they end up there and they're never going to catch them, or if they keep getting it wrong, they can't go further back. That's always the set place there. That's the destroyer there, Mr. Destroyer. Winning the game with the chase. So this, obviously, once you've answered the question, you just set that back again to go and play the rest of the 2 minutes. If the chaser catches the contestant within 2 minutes, they win. If the contestant avoids being caught within 2 minutes, they win and take the money. So obviously this guy wins. And you can keep it running total. You can keep it. I mean, this obviously the chaser doesn't get. This guy wins 13,000. So whoever the team member or the team can keep that. Make a note of it on a pad, and you can play it again and again and again and see who gets the most money. But I mean, it's a trivia game. It is what it is. I say the questions are 6 on each of those cards, so they will last a while. Again, there's 6 on those, but obviously the red questions don't get answered as much as the blue questions. So I think that's quite good. It's a nice solid things. These are good. These are nice solid counters, so they're not a disappointment. This obviously can be a bit of a pain, but just say it does add a bit of fun, a bit of the timing going, etc. So it does make you panic a little bit. The boards are good. It's a good board. It's a good solid board. Good quality. So as I said, you can buy used ones of this up anything for under £10 at the moment. Obviously, brand new ones more £20-25 if you wanted to get a brand new one. This is an excellent quality one I've got here. Obviously, let's go up from that now. Let's up to my ugly face again. So yeah, I mean this will stop in a minute. So, but it can be fun. But there you go. That's a chaser. I would say age-wise. I mean, what did they say on the box? They say 8+ on the box. And you can see, even though it says 3 players, you can do it with 2 players, and then you just have one as the chaser. Then it bring both of you involved, and it's just a bit of fun, isn't it? At the end of the day, chasing, running around after the person, see if you can, even if they got more questions right than you, and they got further on the thing, at least as a chase, you've got a chance to chase them, and you might not. But I think it's a bit of fun, and that's coming to an end now, thankfully. Just about the end of the vlog. So I like that. I enjoyed it. It's good fun, simple. You might not be playing it for months and months, but buy it, have a few games one Christmas, and then flog it with everybody else who's selling it. You know what I mean? I hope you enjoyed that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. That's the chase from Ideal Games, available pretty much everywhere. It's not a very rare game, so it's not like some I'll be looking at obviously over the coming episodes. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I'll be back tomorrow to look at some movie releases at the cinema again. Obviously, there's a load yesterday. I've actually, if you go back and look at my DVD releases yesterday, I did actually miss one off. So I'll do that next week with next week's releases. So I did make an error there, obviously. But as I said, there was enough to look at yesterday anyway. So I enjoyed that. If you like that on Twitter, you can follow me at nostalgia_movie. I follow everyone back on there. Have a look on there. Any questions on this game or anything, just you can tweet me. Or go to my website, moviegamenostalgia.com, which is all these games and this game and many more on there, plus rare DVDs, posters. Have a look through there. Anything you're after that I don't have listed on my site, just let me know. And there was a guy yesterday after a rare DVD, and I pointed in the right direction. So even if I can't get it, I'll point in the right direction for it anyway. On Facebook, I'm under Bernardine, moviegamenostalgia.com, and obviously on YouTube. As I say, Wednesday I'll be doing the cinema releases. Thursday I'll be doing my usual look at the 90s and 2000 posters. And Friday, which is a general day this week, is another movie quiz, which people quite enjoy. So this will be movie quiz number 3. If you've not done the movie quiz number 1 and 2, there's no deadline on those. Just go back and have a look at those. They're all in the playlist on my YouTube. And obviously, if you're interested in football, I have a little football thing now called Citizen, which I'll be doing on a regular basis. So that's on Bernardine YouTube as well. So there you go. That's the chase. I'm going to have a play of this with my rabble when we get together again. Have a bit of a laugh, and no doubt my youngest will want to team up with somebody because she'd be frightened of not winning. But to say, some of the questions are quite difficult, some easy ones, but it is trivia, and it could be on anything. So good luck with that one. Hope you enjoyed that anyway, and I'll see you all again tomorrow. And whatever you're doing with the rest of your day today, have a great one. Thanks for that. Bye for now.